Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. Mother Earth, written by Weirdo5255. Mother Earth. She's a bitch. A hard-ass bitch who tortured every form of life that she brought forth onto her surface. Every life form on her surface had to fight, feed, and feck. After that, she didn't care about what happened, only that they had improved on themselves, perhaps a little. Life on Earth has had to suffer through catastrophes that have on multiple occasions pushed it to the brink of total extinction. Sometimes it looked as if the bitch had gone too far and destroyed the life that she had spawned, but each time as if, despite her, life survived. Asteroid impacts, sulfuric clouds, ice ages, and nearly anything else your mind can conjure up, Mother Earth has thrown at the children that she spawned forth. It was only in the last 100,000 years or so that she decided that she was ready to undertake her greatest challenge yet. The naked apes crawling around on the plains of Africa, she imbued them with just the smallest spark of intelligence. Within the blink of an eye, these naked apes took their challenge like no other life ever had. They were more impatient than her, it seemed, discontent with the pace at which evolution might allow them to spread across the surface of the Earth. Humanity said feck that and changed the Earth to suit them. Tearing into Mother Earth, they wrenched from her surface what they needed to survive. They attacked animals not only to consume them for energy, but using sharpened stones stole their skins and wore them as if they were their own. They dug into the ground and extracted metals, shaping the very dirt to their needs. They went from the plains and the dirt to throwing themselves off of their mother's surface and into the stars in less than 10,000 years. They did not thank the Mother Earth. No, humanity slowly bled her dry and fought over the scraps of her corpse before she was even dead. Humanity was meaner than their mother, and with her dying breath, Mother Earth was proud. She was, after all, a twisted, sadistic bitch. Mother Earth did not coddle her children. No, she was a better mother than that. Every form of life she had created learned the single lesson that she repeated over and over. Survival of the fittest. Humanity, leaving behind the burning and decrepit corpse of their mother, went forth into the stars like a plague. The weapons improved versions of rocks that they had once used to murder other animals, and themselves, on the plains of Africa, raised ready to stake their claim amongst the stars. But, asked the alien representative, the mechanical translator it wielded, twanging slightly. What threats should we be aware of on the political stage? Asked the human negotiator again. What threat would be present on a political stage? Asked the alien, the thin fronds on its head delicately waving in the air. Some external force to this coalition you represent, some military threat that we should be prepared for. What groups will not be happy for us joining you if that is what we choose to do? Asked the negotiator. What is a military? Asked the alien. Those who fight and defend their countries, said the human negotiator, his brow furrowed. The alien was silent for a moment. I don't know what you mean. The human negotiator frowned and, opening the computer console in front of him, pulled up an image. An ancient army on a battlefield, weapons raised, and corpses of the enemy soldiers beneath them. The frail alien was again silent, the many small, delicate fronds and tendrils on its body retreating towards its skin. Are you all right? Asked the human negotiator. But is this? You killed your own kind. Yes. The alien turned a deep green and let out a trilling shriek that the translator did not seem to handle very well. My! Asked the alien, now in obvious distress. The human negotiator attempted to figure out what had gone wrong and tried to recover. Limited resources, different ideologies. There is hardly an excuse that has not been used for humanity to go to war. The alien stilled. You have done this other times? It asked in a small voice. There has never been a time in our history where we have not been at war. This is what you call war? asked the alien, gesturing at the image. "This is a battle."
"Then what is a war? Show me,"
demanded the alien. Pursing his lips, but unwilling to disregard the alien's request, the human representative slowly started going through images showing humanity through the ages, and calmly explained the art of war that humanity were masters at. The alien was silent, either stunned or catatonic. The negotiator was not sure. After 3 hours, the human representative finished.
"I am not sure how to respond. There is nothing like this in the history of any species inside the Alliance."
It was the human negotiator's turn to look stunned. "No war! No fighting!"
"We might disagree, but we have never resorted to this. Our planets have always had plenty. You come from a death world, do you not?"
asked the alien. "What is a death world?" asked the human.
"A world where life did not cooperate, but rather contested and fought for resources. That is what humanity is. Most of those planets destroyed themselves in time. It was thought until now that death worlds could not sustain complex life.
My planet has gone through 6 separate extinction events. After each one, the planet was nearly devoid of life," said the human.
"I need to talk to my government. I do not have the appropriate response to this."
The alien quickly got up and retreated from the negotiation table. The guards outside were escorted back to its ship. The human representative looked down at the table and sighed. Turning to the communication console behind him, the image of the human council appeared. They had been watching the proceedings. "I don't think it's going to be that difficult to get their mining resources," said the human negotiator. There were a few nervous laughs from the council members. The oldest man sitting at the center couldn't contain himself and burst out laughing. "This is too easy," he said between bouts of mirth. The negotiator allowed himself a small smile. "Indeed, it looks like the same threat to humanity remains. We have nothing to fear in space but ourselves." The polluted and decrepit Earth, devoid of all life but those microbes that could live inside of the toxic waste and nuclear radiation on the surface of the planet, joined the counselors in silent laugh. She had taught her children well. Now, like a plague that would spread out amongst the stars, they had nothing to fear, nothing to stop them. She could rest easy knowing her children were safe. Even if they did manage to destroy themselves, the microbes on her surface would survive. They were, after all, her children as well. End of story. Story number 2. We Don't Like the Quiet, written by Mercury the Diener. Every civilization wishes to survive has to follow one rule. Stay quiet. Stay in your system, improve your technology, and do everything you can to not attract attention. If you need to expand, then do so slowly, and with specialized FTL engines so no one can scan for your movements. They will know if you break the rule. No one really knows what they are, but the pattern is very simple. The civilization does something to attract attention and, in a few hours, it is gone. All attempts at defense have proven useless. Even the oldest and mightiest of the known empires don't dare challenge whatever horror lurks in the starless void. Doing so only ever leads to destruction. Civilizations are not hard so. Every time a new fledgling species is found, the nearest advanced people give them a small whisper of information. It is risky, and no one is forced to do such a thing. But almost all sapiens do it, since they too were small once. What happened when Gaia started transmitting messages to the void was quite a standard procedure. A Type 2 intercepted the message, blocked it so no one else could hear it, and then whispered back how the natives should stay quiet and why. Their duty was done, and it was up to the primitives to either listen to the advice or perish. Much to the delight of Gaia's neighbor, the message soon stopped coming. A few parties were made in celebration of successfully saving another species from total extinction. After 10 years, the parties ended. After 30, the primitives were just a small talk for most people. After 100, only a few scholars and curious students ever learned about that event. After 500, their only evidence that they had helped anyone was old decaying servers. Then something happened. There,
on the spot where that pale blue dot stood, a new message appeared, and it was big. A gigantic signal beamed throughout the void like a sun washing its light over the dark forest. The message might have been on an untranslatable language, but its meaning could be understood by all. Come and get some! Only a few minutes after the message washed over the quiet galaxy, the entire void changed. Gigantic ships which were once hidden and waiting for prey emerged from the edge of black holes and the depths of planets and asteroids. Entire stars and planets which were once thought to be part of common solar systems revealed their true identity as war machines of unimaginable scale. And they were all headed to one place. The entire galaxy watched in awe as the beasts that controlled almost the entire void marched towards their prey. But then they stopped, and one of them imploded in on itself. Then another. Then 10,000 more. If the galaxy was in awe before, now they were in sheer disbelief. There, on an interstellar void between Gaia and the rest of the galaxy, a truly gigantic fleet stood against the great monsters. Both sides fought fiercely as the unstoppable force of the void clashed against the seemingly unmovable defense of the Gaians. And there they stood, two titans clashing in the void, while the very fabric of the galaxy bent under the pressure of the battle. By the 10th year of fighting, however, the monsters slowed down. It was a small difference, but it kept growing. By the 15th year, the Gaians were destroying 2 enemy ships for every one they lost. By the 18th year, it was over. Gaia had won. The other civilizations stood in stunned silence. Some were too scared to attract the attention of this new predator. Some were quietly making plans to serve their new overlords. Most were just too shocked to react. Another message came through. This time it was written in all sapient language. Sorry, we don't like the quiet. End of story. The algorithm reckons you should be watching this video next, and I recommend that you should be always watching my video. So, click with energy! And yes, clicking that does help the channel. Thank you very much. I'd just like to give a quick thanks to the T5 channel members and patrons. Alithia, Parky, Fudic Yol, Meridian117, Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnholtz, Angry Marine, Lord Azrakal, and White Van 420.